Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome to my YouTube channel if it's your first time here. My name's Eva, and I'm a current freshman at MIT, where I just finished up my first semester. So it is December, which means that many of you who are high school seniors are probably pretty busy finishing up your college applications right about now. I remember about this time last year, I was busy working on those. So today I thought I'd read my common application essay for you guys and give you some essay tips and tricks that could maybe help the process along for you all and make it a little bit easier or more effective. So MIT does not use the common application, but I did apply to 8 other schools that did use the common application, and this essay got me accepted to Stanford, Princeton, Yale, Brown, and RISD. So I'm hoping that this could help you guys too. So one big piece of advice that I received when I was working on my common application from my junior year English teacher, so shout out Mr. Glowacki, was that you should write your common application essay about 4 minutes of your life. So what I mean by that is you should choose a specific instance that will show the reader who you are and what your personality is, rather than telling them, oh, this is who I am, this is what makes me special. So if you can pinpoint a single moment and really delve into that moment, write about what it looked like, what it sounded like, what it smelled like or tasted like or felt like, then you can really exemplify what made you special in that moment. For instance, it might have been a conversation you had with a mentor, or a specific aha moment in some research you were doing, or even just a time where you really felt like you connected with another individual, and just write about that instance and expand on that so that you can show an example of who you are rather than tell them. So in my case, I decided to use my common application essay to show the readers that I am both artistically and scientifically minded. So the prompt for my essay was, describe a topic, idea, or concept you find so engaging that it makes you lose all track of time. Why does it captivate you? What or who do you turn to when you want to learn more? So jumping right into it, the first paragraph went, digging my needle into her knee, I carve out 3 distinct dimples. Armed with a repurposed dental tool, I create a long dent down her thigh, revealing powerfully flexed muscles. This 6-inch tall clay gymnast lays sprawled out in front of me, her torso and legs detached. I look at the clock, 12:30 a.m. Perfect, I can still work a while longer. Taking a small volume of clay, I squeeze it between my fingers into a tiny triangular wedge, the beginnings of a foot. Removing my own foot from the warmth of a slipper, I point my toes. Muscles flexed, bones bulging, I study its contours. Turning back to the clay wedge, I slice a little bit off of one edge. I turn again to my own foot and observe for a while, turning back to the clay, back to my foot, and so on, little by little, carving away the distinct features of my flesh. It is an anatomy lesson as well as a sculpting session. I cannot simply grind out the rest of my project. Each step requires careful planning and consideration. Leonardo da Vinci spent hours studying cadavers to understand their structure prior to attempting to draw them. So as you can see from that first paragraph, I really tried to set the scene of 4 minutes where I am just working downstairs in my basement, sculpting, completely engrossed in my work. And rather than tell them, oh, I spent a long time sculpting, I'm showing them that I look up at the clock and I'm looking at my foot to try to sculpt it, and I'm forgetting everything else that's going on, and then I look up at the clock again and the time has passed. And so in this way, I really tried to just introduce them to who I am as an artist and how obsessed I am with trying to sculpt things the right way. So on to the second paragraph. In my hand now rests a tiny, athletic, pointed toe foot. I look at the clock again, 2:15 a.m. Already? Pushing back my chair, I reach my arms behind me and throw my head backwards in a long stretch. My back is sore in the best way possible. Walking into physics the next day, I keep visualizing my sculpture. My end goal is to have 6 gymnasts on a balance beam, each frozen in an instant of dramatic motion, jumping, spinning, flipping. Looking at the mechanics equation sheet in front of me, I know that physics will play an integral role in the success or failure of my sculpture. Each girl has to be precisely balanced, or else she will topple over. So by now, I hope that it's clear to the reader what I'm talking about. And in this case, I'm talking about creating a sculpture. And this sculpture was actually featured in my art portfolio that I submitted to most of the colleges I applied to. So if the reader was curious, they could actually go back and reference this image. It was a sculpture that I made of 6 gymnasts on a balance beam out of clay, and this took a lot of time and effort, and I was really passionate about this project, so I thought it was the perfect thing to write my common application essay about. When I get home, I sit down at my computer and pull up YouTube. I am greeted with a display of recommended videos, all gymnastics competitions. My sister walks by and laughs. What the heck? Why are you watching so much gymnastics? I click the link to Simone Biles' beam routine at the 2016 Olympics, continuing my research. As she winds up her arms for a front flip, I switch to quarter speed. Even slowed down, her movements are powerful. Muscles tightening like a spring, her legs recoil into her chest. I play the clip again and again, studying the contours of her muscular frame. Her hair whips around, pointed straight outward from her head due to the centripetal force of her spin. That's it, the key to my sculpture, her straight hair. For weeks, I have been racking my brain to figure out how to create a gymnast frozen in the middle of a front flip. She can't just float in midair, but how can I attach her to a surrounding figure without the final product looking crowded and clunky? The solution? Her straight hair, frozen in the middle of her flip, provides the ideal concealment for a piece of sturdy wire to be fed from her body, through her head, and into the outstretched arm of the adjacent figure without ever revealing itself. Whenever I make a new sculpture, I approach it from both an artistic and a scientific engineering mindset. Before making an indent, I seek to understand the fundamentals of what I am making, just as I seek to understand the universe in any physics or math class. It is through this blending of art and science that I can succeed in making the final product visually captivating yet structurally sound. The artistic and scientific process of materializing a sculpture from a mental blueprint never ceases to excite me. And that was 631 words, and so I think the word limit was 650, so I still had a little wiggle room if I wanted, but I was happy cutting it off there. So you can see from my overall Common App essay that not only did I delve into that 4 minutes of me sculpting, losing track of time, I then took that 4-minute situation and expanded into how I'm going to take science and art and combine them in the future and how my mindset surrounds those, and I am completely enveloped in it and want to continue pursuing that. Through this essay, I also tried to convey a little bit of my personality. I tried to put a little bit of a sense of humor in there, especially at the beginning, because it was kind of mysterious and I didn't give away exactly what I was doing right away, and obviously I was talking about like dissecting a person, so it was kind of creepy, but I wanted to wait so that the reader was intrigued before knowing exactly what was going on. So like I was saying earlier, I think that the Common Application essay is really important because it's a window into your application and it's the first thing your reader will see. In fact, in my Yale acceptance letter, my admissions officer wrote a little blurb saying as soon as they read my first essay, which was the Common App essay, they knew I was a Yalie. And that really meant a lot to me because it meant that through this essay I was successful at portraying not only who I am and my personality, but I was successful at portraying the fact that I will take who I am now in high school and progress into the future and actually make a difference in college and have a passion that I continue pursuing. So again, if I were to give you just a few pieces of advice for your essay, I would say write about a short 4-minute instance of your life to really show the reader what's going on rather than telling them. And make sure to focus on something big that will give the readers a sense of what's important to you and your passion and your personality. So that was my Common App essay. I hoped it could help you guys out a little bit. And I know that many of you high school seniors are probably really busy right now working on your own college applications. So in the next few days, I'm planning on publishing a last-minute college application tips and tricks video. So if you have any questions as to what you should be doing right now in the process, leave a question down in the comments below and I'll try to compile those and put them all in my video in a few days. I know during this final week in December last year, I was really working hard to get my applications in, and I waited until the last minute on a lot of things, but trust me, it will work out, and I'm sure you guys will all be fine. So again, leave a comment down below if you want anything in that future video in a few days, and good luck to all of you guys, and thank you for watching.